In 1921, deep within a secluded Tibetan monastery in the Himalayan mountains, British archaeologists made a discovery that would forever shake our understanding of the potential of the human mind. While excavating the deepest levels of an ancient temple, they found stone tablets with meticulously preserved inscriptions, describing a breathing technique so powerful, so transformative, that it was immediately classified and kept secret for decades. What these tablets revealed was a coded breathing practice called the 11 Gate, a precise sequence of breaths that, according to ancient masters, could literally reconfigure the neural circuits of the human brain in just 7 minutes. This wasn't vague mysticism or abstract spiritual promises. It was an advanced neurobiological technology disguised as a spiritual practice. Modern neuroscience is only beginning to understand what these Tibetan masters knew millennia ago, that breathing is the direct bridge between the conscious and the unconscious, between voluntary control and the body's automatic processes. It's the only system in our body that operates in both automatic and conscious modes, thus becoming the gateway to reprogramming the entire nervous system. When you breathe unconsciously, as you do now while listening to me, your brain remains in established patterns, operating within the limits of its current programming. But when you breathe with specific intention, following precise sequences, you activate regions of the brain that normally remain dormant, creating new neural connections and literally reconstructing your perception of reality. The knowledge contained in the Tibetan tablets was kept secret for a reason. A population that understands how to consciously reprogram its own neurology poses a threat to control systems based on fear, scarcity, and dependence. People who master their own brain biochemistry don't need external validation, aren't easily manipulated, and most importantly, don't remain trapped in cycles of unbridled consumption and seeking satisfaction outside themselves. What makes Gate 111 so extraordinary is its mathematical precision. Tibetan monks didn't arrive at this sequence by accident or tradition. They meticulously mapped the effects of different breathing patterns on the human brain over generations, discovering that there are specific moments during breathing practice when the brain enters states of exceptional coherence. The number 111 is not arbitrary. It represents the exact number of respiratory cycles required for the human brain to cross the threshold of accelerated neuroplasticity, the point at which new neural connections can be formed, not in weeks or months, but in minutes. It is the precise moment when the prefrontal cortex, amygdala, and anterior cingulate cortex enter a state of synchronization that modern neuroscientists call cross-frequency coupling. To truly understand the power of this technique, we need to examine what happens physiologically when you breathe, following the 111 gate pattern. Each breath isn't just an exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. It's a transmission of electrochemical information that travels throughout the nervous system through the vagus nerve, the most extensive communication pathway between the brain and the body. The vagus nerve, also known as the 10th cranial nerve, connects your brain to virtually all of your vital organs. When you consciously manipulate your breathing, you send specific signals through this nerve, instantly altering your brain chemistry, heart rate variability, and even gene expression. Recent studies using functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI, technology have shown that controlled breathing techniques can increase gamma wave activity in the brain by more than 700%. Gamma waves, which operate at frequencies between 30 and 100 Hertz, are directly associated with states of expanded consciousness, heightened awareness, and what neuroscientists call unified consciousness, the moment when previously separate neural networks synchronize to create a single experience of a completely new reality. But the 111 gate goes beyond simply altering brainwaves. It directly targets the reticular activating system, RSS, the brain's filtering mechanism, which determines what information enters your consciousness and what remains invisible to you. For most people, the RAS is programmed by traumatic experiences, limiting conditioning and fear-based survival mechanisms, filtering reality through these restrictive lenses. The Gate 111 breathing technique not only relaxes the nervous system, it literally hacks your perception filter, opening you to possibilities that have always been present but that your brain was programmed to ignore. It's as if you've been wearing colored glasses your entire life and can suddenly remove them and see the world in its full spectrum of colors. Pause now, take 3 normal breaths, and notice how you breathe naturally. Did you notice anything? This unconscious breathing pattern you just performed is exactly what keeps you grounded in your current reality. You're breathing in survival mode, not creation mode. It's oxygenating limitations, not expansive possibilities. The inscription on the Tibetan tablets was translated as 3 doors, 1 breath, infinite worlds. For centuries, this phrase was interpreted as a spiritual metaphor. But recent research by Dr. Henry Huberman on breathing and neuroplasticity has revealed the scientific accuracy behind these ancient instructions. The 3 gates refer to the 3 distinct neural processing centers in the human brain which, when synchronized through specific breathing, create a state of measurable quantum coherence. When your amygdala, emotional center, prefrontal cortex, executive center, and anterior cingulate cortex, attention center, enter synchronized states of gamma activity, your brain literally transforms into a manifestation antenna, capturing and organizing information from the quantum field of possibilities. Let's take a closer look at how the 111 gate technique works, following exactly what the Tibetan masters discovered. Phase 1, the activation sequence. Inhale for a count of 4, imagining that you are drawing energy up your spine from the base to the crown. This is not mere visualization. You're literally activating your sympathetic nervous system and increasing the production of norepinephrine, the neurotransmitter responsible for alertness and focus. Hold your breath for 4 counts, focusing on the space between your eyebrows, where your pineal gland is located. It's responsible for producing DMT and melatonin, the neurochemicals associated with expanded consciousness. Phase 2, integration. Breathe in for 8 counts longer than your inhalation, activating your parasympathetic nervous system and flooding your brain with GABA, the neurotransmitter that creates the relaxed yet alert state necessary for conscious manifestation. During this inhalation, you're not just releasing air, you're releasing limiting neural patterns and creating space for new possibilities. Phase 3, the quantum pause. This is the most precious secret that the monks guarded so carefully. The pause between breaths. Hold your lungs empty for 2 counts. In this breathless space, your brain waves shift to theta frequencies, the same state experienced during deep meditation and lucid dreaming. It is at this moment that your conscious mind quiets and your subconscious becomes programmable. This precise sequence must be repeated exactly 111 times, no more, no less. Your default mode network, DMN, the brain regions responsible for self-referential thinking and limiting beliefs, temporarily deactivates. At this moment, you are not just imagining a new reality. You are literally breathing into one. What makes this technique truly revolutionary is that it doesn't just temporarily alter your brainwaves. Researchers at Harvard Medical School have discovered that specific breathing practices can activate genes associated with improved cognitive function, stress resistance, and cellular regeneration in a matter of minutes. Dr. Sarah Lazar's studies using MRI technology revealed that participants who practiced similar breathing techniques for just 8 weeks experienced measurable increases in cortical density in areas associated with attention and sensory processing. The 111 gate technique accelerates this process exponentially. Your breath isn't just a movement of air, it's a movement of information. Each inhalation is downloading new possibilities from the quantum field. Each exhalation is releasing outdated programming. And that pause between breaths is where miracles reside, in the space between what was and what could be. There's something more these tablets have revealed, something that challenges everything we thought we knew about conscious manifestation. The monks discovered that reality responds to coherence, not just intention. You can visualize and affirm all day long, but if your nervous system is in chaos, you'll be transmitting conflicting signals to the quantum field. You've probably experienced this. You set an intention, visualize the goal, maybe even create a vision board, but weeks go by, months go by, and nothing changes. The reason is simple. Your conscious brain was asking for something while your nervous system was vibrating at the frequency of your deepest fears and limiting beliefs. The 111 gate breathing technique creates what the monks called singular resonance, a state in which your heart rate variability, brain waves, and cellular oscillations align at the same frequency. In this state, you don't just think about what you desire, you become a living vibrational match for it. What's most fascinating is that Tibetan monks understood something about quantum mechanics, which was only officially discovered by Western science in the 1920s. The observer effect, the idea that consciousness affects physical reality, was not just a philosophical theory, but a practical, applicable technology. When you achieve singular resonance through the 111 gate technique, you're not just observing reality, you're coherently collapsing quantum possibilities into physical experiences. Your focused attention, synchronized with your breathing, creates what physicists call quantum coherence in the microtubules of your brain. Modern science calls this psychophysiological coherence, and devices like HeartMath can now measure these states. But the monks were creating and maintaining these states purely through breathing, without the need for external technology. Recent research at the Institute of Noetic Sciences has demonstrated that individuals in coherent states can influence random number generators, affect plant growth, and even impact the healing rates of others remotely. This isn't magic or pseudoscience. It's what happens when human consciousness operates at frequencies of optimal coherence. What makes the 111 gate so revolutionary is its accessibility. It doesn't require years of meditative practice, expensive spiritual retreats, or advanced esoteric knowledge. It only requires 7 minutes of your day and the willingness to follow a precise breathing sequence. It's a democratic technology of consciousness, available to anyone willing to practice it consistently. Tibetan monks kept detailed journals of their experiences with the 111 gate because they understood that manifestation isn't always dramatic or instantaneous. Sometimes it's the subtle shifts in perception that create the most profound transformations in external reality. A new insight here, a synchronicity there, an unexpected opportunity that appears seemingly out of nowhere. These are the first signs that your reality field is reconfiguring. Commit to practicing the 111 gate technique every day for the next 7 days. Don't just experiment casually, commit fully. Set your alarm 7 minutes earlier. Find a quiet space and follow the sequence I described exactly. And most importantly, document everything. Your dreams, synchronicities, unexpected opportunities, shifts in perception. What you'll discover is that after 7 days of consistent practice, your relationship with reality will begin to fundamentally change. Situations that once seemed stressful will be perceived as opportunities. People who once irritated you will become teachers, and possibilities that once seemed distant will begin to manifest with almost magical ease. This happens because you're not just changing your thoughts. You're literally reconfiguring the neural hardware that filters your experience of reality. You're creating new neural pathways that allow you to perceive opportunities, connections and possibilities that have always been present, but that your brain has been programmed to filter out and ignore. The science behind this is fascinating. When you practice Gate 111, you're activating what neuroscientists call activity-dependent neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections based on repeated experiences. But unlike conventional neuroplasticity, which can take weeks or months to create measurable changes, the 111 gate technique accelerates this process by creating a state of accelerated plasticity through synchronization. It requires multiple neural systems. Dr. Joe Spencer, a neuroscientist and consciousness researcher, has documented cases of people who, using similar breathing and coherence techniques, have been able to cure diseases considered incurable, manifest seemingly impossible opportunities, and completely transform themselves, their lives in a matter of weeks, not years. The common denominator in all these cases wasn't luck or coincidence. It was the ability to create and maintain states of neural coherence through specific practices. The most extraordinary thing about the 111 gate is that it doesn't require you to change your beliefs or your value system. It's not a religion or a philosophy. It's a technology of consciousness that works independently of your beliefs about it, just as gravity works whether you believe in it or not. All it requires is precise application of the technique and consistent practice. Imagine waking up every morning and in just 7 minutes, completely reconfiguring your neural state for the rest of the day. Imagine approaching every interaction, every challenge, every opportunity from a state of coherence and clarity, rather than reactivity and limitation. Imagine being able to access states of consciousness that would normally only be available after years of intensive meditation. This is what the 111 Gate offers, not as a vague spiritual promise, but as precise neurobiological technology tested by both ancient Tibetan masters and cutting-edge science today. This is the true secret of the 111 Gate. It's not just a technique for changing your mental state, but a tool for aligning your entire being into a single, coherent frequency. It is in this state of total alignment that you become a conscious creator of your reality rather than a passive product of your past programming. The question isn't whether this technique works. Science has conclusively demonstrated the effects of conscious breathing on neuroplasticity, heart rate variability, and gene expression. The question is, are you ready to discover what becomes possible when you stop living by accident and start breathing by design? Share your experience in the comments after completing the 7-day practice. Tell us what reality you discovered when you stopped breathing in survival mode and started breathing in creation mode. Because once you experience the neurological reprogramming that comes from this ancient technique, you'll never see your breath or your potential the same way again. The 111 Gate isn't just another breathing technique. It's the key to unlocking dimensions of consciousness and possibilities that have always been present, just waiting for you to breathe correctly to access them. It's time to reclaim this ancient knowledge and use it to create not only a better life for yourself, but a better world for everyone. Breathing is your most powerful tool for conscious transformation. Use it wisely, use it with intention, and use it to awaken the extraordinary potential that has always existed within you. Gate 111 is open. All you have to do is breathe through it.